All right, let's get right into it. Today we're tackling
Oh, yeah.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about this one.
It's a classic.
This is one of my all-time favorite films.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen it.
I mean, it's one of those movies that you can watch over and over again, and you discover something new every single time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for those of you who maybe haven't seen it, just a quick rundown.
Mm.
You know, it's the story of the Corleone family.
An Italian-American crime family.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're trying to sort of navigate the world of organized crime in 1940s New York City.
Right.
And it really is, you know, it's about family.
Yeah. It's about loyalty, betrayal.
Power, ambition,
It's all
those
big.
juicy things
Yeah.
that make for a great story.
And I think what makes it so compelling is the way that it kind of like humanizes these characters.
Yes.
You know, they're criminals, but they're
Mhm.
also people with families and, you
Yeah.
know, complex relationships.
Right? They're not just like two-dimensional bad guys. You really get a sense of their motivations and their struggles.
For sure.
And the thing that always strikes me is how beautifully it's shot.
Oh, yeah. The cinematography is amazing.
I mean, every frame of this film could be a painting.
Seriously.
The use of light and shadow is just masterful.
Yeah, Gordon Willis, who was the cinematographer, really created like a visual style that was both beautiful and menacing.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
it really kind of like draws you into this world.
Right. It's like a world of shadows and secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the film really kicks off with one of the most memorable openings.
Oh, for sure. The wedding scene.
The wedding.
Connie's wedding.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
It's such a great way to introduce all the characters in the world that they inhabit.
Right. We meet Don Vito Corleone, the patriarch of the family.
Played by the legendary Marlon Brando.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's holding court in his dimly lit study.
Dispensing favors.
Right. And there's this real sense of power and menace, even though he's surrounded by, you know, his family and friends.
Yeah.
It's a celebration, but you can definitely feel that undercurrent of something else.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely something darker lurking beneath the surface.
Right. And that's what Coppola does so well.
For sure. He's a master of creating atmosphere and suspense.
And it's not just the visuals. I mean, the music by Nino Rota.
Oh, my God. The music is iconic.
It's incredible.
It just adds this whole other layer of emotion and depth to the film.
Absolutely. And the way it sort of weaves in and out of the scenes, it's so effective.
Yeah, like another character in the movie.
Right. And I think, you know, you mentioned the characters, and one of the things that makes The Godfather so great is the performances.
Oh, yeah. The acting is top-notch across the board.
I mean, everyone is just phenomenal.
Seriously.
Marlon Brando as Don Vito is just iconic. I mean,
yeah, he's incredible.
He just disappears into that role.
He really does.
And the voice, the mannerisms.
The cotton balls in his cheeks.
Yes. Everything.
He transformed himself for that role.
It's just unforgettable. And then you have Al Pacino as Michael,
All right.
who starts out, you know, seemingly kind of detached from the family business.
Yeah, he's a war hero.
Right.
It wants nothing to do with the family's criminal activities.
And then circumstances, you know, kind of force his hand.
And we see this incredible transformation over the course of the film. It's one of the most compelling character arcs, I think, in cinema history.
Absolutely. And Pacino is just mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, he conveys so much with just a look or a gesture.
Right. It's really a master class in acting.
For sure.
And we can't forget about the supporting cast.
Oh, yeah. James Cadian as Sonny.
So good.
He's explosive.
Yes.
Robert Duvall as Tom Hagen.
The consigliere.
Yeah, the adopted son who's kind of like the moral compass of the family.
Right. And then Diane Keaton as Kay.
Yeah, Michael's wife.
Who represents sort of the outside world.
Right. She's the one who's trying to pull Michael away from the darkness.
Right. But you can see how she gets drawn into it as well.
Yeah. She's a tragic figure in her own right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have this incredible cast of characters, and then you have this incredibly well-written script.
Yeah, the dialogue is sharp.
So sharp.
And memorable.
Yeah, full of these iconic lines.
Like, I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Or, leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Yeah, classic.
I mean, it's just one quotable moment after another.
And the story itself is so well constructed.
Of a masterpiece of storytelling.
It's got everything you could want in a movie.
Yeah, right.
Drama, suspense, tragedy, and it's all done with such style and sophistication.
Yeah, Coppola really raised the bar with this film.
Absolutely.
And I think it's safe to say that The Godfather is one of the greatest movies ever made.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a film that has stood the test of time, and it continues to resonate with audiences today.
For sure.
And I think that's because It's a story that speaks to something universal about the human experience.
Yeah, it's about family, loyalty, ambition,
Power.
betrayal, the struggle for survival.
All these themes are timeless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And The Godfather explores them in a way that is both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Yeah. It's a film that stays with you long after you've seen it.
For sure. And I think that's the mark of a truly great movie.
Absolutely.
So if you haven't seen The Godfather, do yourself a favor and check it out.
You won't regret it.
I promise you that.
And you know what's really interesting is how the film kind of shifts gears when Michael comes back from Sicily.
Oh, yeah.
He's not the same guy anymore.
He's hardened. He's seen some stuff.
Exactly. He's had to make some tough decisions.
He's killed people.
Yeah, he's taken a life.
And it's changed him. You can see it in his eyes.
For sure.
There's this coldness there that wasn't there before.
Right. And he's become very calculating.
Oh, yeah.
He's always thinking a few steps ahead.
Like a chess player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to watch how he starts to consolidate his power.
Right. He's got this 5-year plan.
To legitimize the family business.
Yeah. But he's not afraid to use violence to get what he wants.
Well, he's learned that violence is sometimes necessary in their world.
Right. It's a survival tactic.
Yeah, and he's not going to let his emotions get in the way.
Like Sonny.
Exactly. Sonny was too impulsive.
Yeah, he let his anger get the better of him.
And it cost him his life.
Right. Michael's not going to make that mistake.
He's much more controlled.
Yeah, but you can see the toll it's taking on him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's constantly under pressure.
He's got enemies everywhere.
And he's making these really tough choices.
That have life or death consequences.
Right. And you can see that it's weighing on him.
Especially in his relationship with Kay.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of the innocent in all of this.
Right. She's the one who represents his hope for a normal life.
But she's also a reminder of everything he's lost.
Exactly.
And the tragedy is that he can't escape his past.
It's like he's trapped in this cycle of violence.
And he's dragging everyone down with him.
And I think that's what makes The Godfather so powerful.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's a story about the corrupting influence of power.
And the price you pay for ambition.
And it's all told with this incredible visual style and these amazing performances.
Yeah, it's really a masterpiece.
And one of the most memorable scenes in the whole film is the baptism scene.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's just brilliant filmmaking.
It's so intense.
The way Coppola cuts back and forth between the baptism and the murders.
It's just so well done.
And the music.
The music is incredible.
It's so haunting.
It really adds to the drama and the suspense.
And it's also really symbolic.
How so?
Well, on the one hand, you have this sacred ritual of baptism.
Right, the cleansing of sins.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have Michael orchestrating these brutal killings.
So it's like he's being reborn as the Godfather.
Exactly. He's shedding his old life and embracing his new role as the head of the family.
And it's a role that's going to require him to do some pretty terrible things.
Yeah, there's no going back for him now.
He's crossed the line.
And the film doesn't shy away from that.
Right. It shows the consequences of his actions.
And the toll it takes on everyone around him.
And I think that's what makes The Godfather so compelling.
It's not just a gangster movie.
It's a story about family,
about loyalty,
about the choices we make,
and the sacrifices we're willing to make for the people we love.
and it's all told with this incredible artistry and this deep understanding of human nature.
Yeah, Coppola really created something special with this film.
Absolutely. It's funny, we talk about the violence and the darkness in The Godfather.
Right.
But there are also these moments of humor
Oh, yeah, for sure.
that really kind of lighten the mood.
Like that scene with Clemenza
Oh, yeah.
when he's teaching Michael how to make the sauce.
You start with a little oil,
Uh-huh.
then you fry some garlic,
Uh.
then you throw in tomato paste. You fry it, make sure it doesn't stick. You get it to a boil. You shove in all your sausage and your meatballs. I mean, it's such a great scene.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it's such a serious movie,
Right.
but then you have these little moments of levity.
Right. And it just makes the characters feel more real.
Ex-
They're not just these like stoic gangsters.
There are also people who like to eat and joke around.
Right. They have families. They have lives outside of the business.
And I think that's what makes The Godfather so relatable.
Yeah. You can see yourself in these characters, even though they're doing some pretty terrible things.
Right.
And speaking of terrible things, we got to talk about that ending.
Oh, yeah,
It's one of the most iconic endings in cinema history.
for sure.
Kay confronts Michael about Carlo's death.
And he lies right to her face.
And you can see the pain in her eyes.
She knows the truth.
But she's trapped.
Yeah, she's in too deep now.
And that final shot of the door closing,
It's just chilling.
it's like the end of an era
Yeah.
and the end of their relationship.
It's a very powerful ending.
And it leaves you with a lot to think about.
For sure. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about Michael.
Right. I mean, is he a good guy who got corrupted by power, or was he always a monster?
It's hard to say.
And I think that's the brilliance of the film.
Yeah, it doesn't give you any easy answers.
It forces you to wrestle with these complex questions.
And I think that's why The Godfather continues to resonate with audiences today.
Absolutely. It's a film that stays with you long after you've seen it.
And it's a film that you can watch multiple times and still discover new things.
For sure. I mean, I've seen it countless times, and I still find myself noticing new details.
It's just a really rich and rewarding film.
And I think it's a film that everyone should see at least once.
Yeah, it's a true cinematic masterpiece.
So if you haven't seen it yet, do yourself a favor and check it out.
And if you have seen it, maybe it's time for a rewatch.
Always a good idea.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've talked about the characters, the plot, the themes, the cinematography, the music, the performances. I mean, we've really gone deep on The Godfather.
We have.
And I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive.
Me too. It's been a pleasure talking about this film with you.
Likewise. So what do you say we wrap things up here?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this day dive, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more great movie reviews.
And let us know what you think of The Godfather in the comments.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep watching and keep those reels rolling.